Chapter 1: The Arrival. The heavy metal door clanked shut behind Aidan, echoing through the stark concrete corridor of the maximum security facility. His heart raced as he gripped his diary, a lifeline in this harsh new world. In his first entry, he reflected on his fears: fear of judgment, of the relentless stares from other inmates, and of the darkness that shrouded his past. The distant shouts of guards and the clang of weights in the yard underscored his anxiety. Aidan felt like a ghost, invisible, yet tightly bound by his regrets. He penned his thoughts about the crime that brought him here, the failed decisions that carved deep scars in his soul. As he explored his thoughts in the solitude of his cell, the overwhelming weight of his mistakes pressed down with every tick of the clock. This was just the beginning, and Aidan knew he had to confront the shadows lurking within. Chapter 2: Unlikely Friendships. As the morning light filters through the barred windows, Maria picks up her diary, her voice warm and inviting. She reflects on her journey in the yard, where she finds solace in teaching art therapy to younger inmates. The rustling of paintbrushes and the gentle strumming of a guitar create a backdrop for laughter and shared stories, surrounding them like a protective cocoon. Maria recalls how she met Aidan, a newcomer, struggling with fear and loneliness. Through their shared experiences, they begin to forge a bond, finding strength in vulnerability. Maria writes about the magic of creation, how the simple act of painting can spark conversations and heal invisible wounds. The art she teaches becomes a language of hope, allowing them to express their emotions and connect deeply. In this unlikely place, friendships bloom, illuminating their paths and anchoring them amidst the challenges of prison life. Chapter 3: The Shadow of Regret. As the sun sets behind the concrete walls, Malik's diary entries resonate with the weight of his past. In a reflective tone, he recounts his battle with addiction and the immense pain it inflicted on his family. The soundscape is heavy. Murmurs of inmates mix with the rustling pages of his journal, creating an intimate atmosphere that invites listeners into his world. "I lost so much: time, trust, my mother's love," he writes, his voice trembling with vulnerability. As he shares memories of the night that shattered his family's peace, stark echoes of regret intertwine with whispers of hope. His narrative is punctuated by soft piano notes, symbolizing the heartache of his journey. Yet there is a glimmer of redemption as he speaks of his commitment to education, a lifeline that offers a chance to rewrite his future. The chapter closes, leaving listeners to ponder the power of transformation amid sorrow. Chapter 4: Changing Tides. The atmosphere of the prison shifts dramatically as Aidan, Maria, Malik, and their fellow inmates participate in a transformative rehabilitation program. The sound of motivational speeches echoes through the hall, punctuated by the laughter of inmates sharing their stories. Maria's voice radiates warmth as she facilitates group discussions, encouraging everyone to confront their pasts and support one another in their journeys. Aidan feels a flicker of hope rekindling within him as he shares his aspirations, while Malik finds strength in the camaraderie that blossoms around shared vulnerabilities. Outside the walls, the sun begins to cast longer shadows, signaling change, hope, and connections forming amidst unlikely circumstances. The rustling of papers as inmates journal their thoughts fills the air, blending with the sounds of encouragement and understanding. It becomes evident that healing is not just an individual endeavor. Together, they're rewriting their narratives, fostering moments of unity that hold the power to transform their lives. Chapter 5: Outside Looking In. In this poignant chapter, we hear the voices of the families of the inmates, mothers, fathers, and children, sharing their profound feelings of loss and longing. They recount the ache of separation and the dreams that have been put on hold, each story woven together by a common thread of love and heartache. The soundscape contrasts prison life with the lively world outside, the distant laughter of children playing, birds chirping in the morning sun, and the rush of cars driving past, underscoring the stark divide between freedom and confinement. As the families reflect on their loved ones' choices, their emotions unfold: grief, anger, but also a flicker of hope. This chapter emphasizes the collateral damage of incarceration, inviting listeners to empathize not just with the inmates, but with the families who bear the weight of their absence. Through these heartfelt testimonies, The narrative reveals the intertwined lives that echo beyond the prison walls. Chapter 6: Finding Purpose. As Aiden settles into the rhythms of prison life, he gradually discovers a passion for writing. His diary entries swirl with newfound creativity, unveiling his dreams and aspirations as he pours his heart onto paper. The sound of pen scratching against paper resonates in the quiet corners of his cell, punctuating his moments of deep introspection. Aiden reflects on how storytelling allows him to confront his pain, transforming his struggles into narratives of hope. Conversations with fellow inmates in the library reveal shared experiences, igniting a spark of inspiration that infuses their dialogue with purpose. Aiden finds solace in the written word, as it becomes both a refuge and a vehicle for self-discovery. Through poetry and stories, he learns to articulate his journey, realizing that creativity is not just an escape, but a pathway to understanding himself and the world beyond the bars. Each word penned is a step toward redemption. Chapter 7: Moments of Grace. In the heart of the prison, where despair often looms, seeds of kindness and unexpected grace sprout among the inmates. Malik opens his diary, recounting a day when an impromptu gathering in the yard led to shared stories of hope. Laughter erupted as Maria organized a spontaneous game, creating a moment of unity amid stark realities. Soundscapes of cheers and lighthearted banter fill the air, underscoring the healing power of camaraderie. Aiden reflects on receiving a handwritten letter from a fellow inmate who had been silently battling his demons. This act of vulnerability ignited a ripple effect, prompting others to share their own struggles and triumphs. The soothing sound of rustling paper accompanies these intimate revelations, wrapping listeners in a warm embrace of empathy and understanding. As the inmates bond over their stories, they begin to see glimmers of humanity within themselves and others, reigniting their spirits with each moment of grace. Chapter 8: Seeds of Change. As the weeks progress, the inmates of the maximum security facility embark on a community service initiative designed to foster growth and unity. The soundscape is alive with the rhythmic clattering of tools and the laughter of transformed spirits working together, as Aiden, Maria, and Malik lead a gardening project in the prison courtyard. Their diaries reveal how tending to the earth becomes a metaphor for personal growth. They plant seeds not only in the soil but also within themselves. In these moments, friendships deepen and a shared sense of purpose blooms. Maria reflects on how nurturing life amidst confinement fosters hope and healing, while Malik shares stories of the resilience found in the delicate blooms rising from harsh conditions. Each sweat-drenched hour spent in service strengthens their bonds and ignites a newfound belief in their ability to impact the world. Even from behind bars. Chapter 9: The Struggle Within. In the dim light of the prison chapel, Malik opens up about the shadows that haunt him. "I've always struggled with depression," he confides in his diary, his voice tinged with vulnerability. As he reads aloud, the sound of his own breathing hangs heavy in the air, punctuated by the rustling of pages. He reflects on nights spent wrestling with demons, the isolation amplifying his pain. Inmates gather around, listening intently as Malik's raw honesty resonates. "We're often told to be tough, to put on a brave face," he continues, "but it's okay to feel broken." The sounds of distant murmurs and the clicking of pens underscore the weight of his words. In this sanctuary of understanding, inmates share their own battles with mental health, breaking the stigma that has long silenced them. As they lean into their shared vulnerability, a sense of community blossoms, a fragile yet powerful reminder that healing begins in honesty. Chapter 10: The Final Countdown. As the release dates approach, tension ripples through the prison walls. Aiden, Maria, and Malik sit together in their shared cell, each scribbling in their diaries, voices filled with a mixture of anxiety and anticipation. Aiden pens his hopes for a fresh start, battling the fear of falling back into old habits while dreaming of a life where he can finally tell his story. Maria reflects on the impact of her friendships, acknowledging the bittersweet nature of leaving behind those who have become family. Malik, ever the philosopher, quotes a line from a book he's been reading, finding solace in the idea that every ending carries the seeds of a new beginning. The muffled sounds of the prison echo around them, a reminder of their pasts, but beneath the surface lies a current of resilience. Together, they contemplate what freedom looks like beyond the bars, their hearts racing toward the promise of tomorrow. Chapter 11, Bridging the Gap. In this chapter, the atmosphere is filled with an electric mix of anticipation and anxiety as the inmates gather for a reunion workshop with local community members. The sound of chairs scraping against the floor blends with nervous laughter and the murmur of introductions. Aiden takes the lead, sharing his story, his voice trembling yet resolute. The workshop fosters open dialogue. Inmates and volunteers confront stereotypes and preconceptions about criminality. Malik speaks candidly about his past, drawing empathy from the audience, while Maria shares the transformative power of art in her life. The soundscape pulsates with exchanges of understanding, demonstrating the potential for connection. As they engage in meaningful conversations about reintegration strategies, an undercurrent of hope emerges. The chapter closes with the heartfelt realization that both sides have much to learn from one another, emphasizing the importance of compassion and the shared goal of building a better future together. Chapter 12, Preparing for Freedom. As release dates draw near, the atmosphere within the prison becomes a mixture of excitement and trepidation. Aiden, Maria, and Malik gather for a workshop focused on skills training and job readiness. The sound of chairs scraping against concrete and murmurs of encouragement fill the room, creating a sense of camaraderie. Inmates share their hopes and fears about life outside, each voice tinged with an equal measure of anticipation and doubt. Maria reflects on her dreams of becoming a community artist, while Malik envisions his future as a counselor, helping others navigate the struggles he once faced. Aiden finds solace in the power of storytelling, eager to share his journey with the world. As they practice interview skills and learn about resources available to them, the sound of laughter punctuates the seriousness of the moment. Here, amidst the quiet intensity of their preparations, hope begins to flourish, illuminating the path toward a new beginning. Chapter 13, Redemption's Echo. As release day dawns, the atmosphere is thick with anticipation and emotion. Aiden, Maria, and Malik stand before the heavy prison gate, hearts racing with a mix of joy and anxiety. The sound of their breaths harmonizes with the distant echoes of laughter and family chatter beyond the walls. Each inmate's reunion is a poignant symphony of tears, laughter, and heartfelt embraces, amplifying the powerful emotions of redemption. Aiden's mother holds him tightly, her voice trembling as she whispers, "I'm so proud of you." Maria is enveloped by her younger sister, who beams with pride, having witnessed Maria's transformation through letters filled with art. Malik, teary-eyed, hugs his daughter, who calls him Daddy for the first time in years. The soundscape captures the cacophony of reunion, joyous yells, soft sobs, and unspoken apologies hanging in the air, echoing the hope and resilience needed to shape a new future.